Hello everyone, it's Rachel. Welcome to my channel and to today's video, which is going to be another pregnancy update. I'm now 25 weeks along with baby number 2. We are getting really close to hitting the third trimester and I'm so excited about meeting this little person. There's a bunch of stuff I have to talk about today with symptoms, baby's development, and also some news from our midwives. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So starting with baby's development and just the new things that are happening with their growth this week. While listening to music, you might notice that your baby moves rhythmically in response to the sounds. Your baby weighs about 1.6 pounds, 750 grams now. The little brain is beginning a period of growth and over 50% of your baby's energy will be used for this purpose. The lungs are developing their air sacs, and the membrane that allows for the exchange of carbon dioxide and oxygen is now thin enough to let your baby take a breath by the end of the week. Even though your baby's skin is loose and wrinkly at this point, it will fill with fat during the third trimester. Your baby's eyes are completely developed, and the brain is able to register various stimuli such as sound and light. And then this is a little look at how baby is pretty much like looking like a normal baby. So we haven't started doing a ton of prep work for the baby yet, which is kind of very different from Tobias. I feel like I had a lot on my mind and was working on collecting things and getting the house ready, getting me ready, all these things. This time is definitely different because it is the second time around. We have most of the things we need. And a lot of the other things that I would like to get for the baby, I'm waiting until Black Friday and Boxing Day. So hopefully we can get some stuff on some deals. I have like the list of all the stuff I need. We are working a little bit on house stuff. We've been working in the nursery in our room, just kind of reconfiguring things a little bit just to make more room for the baby. We are going to be putting the baby in the nursery with Tobias probably after 6 months, around 6 months, but we've just gone ahead and made space in there anyway because we will probably have a little toddler bed or just a mattress on the floor for Tobias, and the baby will be in the crib where Tobias is now. We've just gone ahead and kind of prepped all that early. It's one thing I don't have to do after the baby is born. It doesn't really feel like we've done a lot to get ready yet. I know probably in the next couple weeks we'll be getting ready more, getting the few things we need and all that kind of stuff. But for the most part, we have everything. So there's not really a ton that we have to do. It's mostly just me preparing myself mentally and physically for labor. I've been starting to kind of prep a little bit, though I'm definitely not doing as much as the first time around because I kind of know how my labors are. Well, I've had one. I know how that labor went and kind of the things I need to work on to hopefully help myself in those areas where I was struggling in my labor, like with just being too tired and struggling with pushing, that kind of thing. Those are going to be areas that I want to try to look into, see how I can make it a better experience this time around. Even though I really loved my last labor, it was a great experience. Obviously, it was good because I'm doing it again. So I loved my last labor. I'm just hoping for those parts of the labor that were difficult to be able to make them a little bit better this time around, knowing what those areas are. I did have a midwife appointment about a week ago. Actually, I think it was exactly a week ago, and they checked up on baby, everything, but they also gave me some disappointing news. So baby is looking good. The heartbeat is good. I'm measuring well. My blood pressure was good. We went over preterm labor, just if you have any signs that remind you of your labor, like your water breaking, vaginal bleeding, or just any of those contractions, just things that remind you of your labor, and then to call them right away because preterm labor is not a good thing. And they also said that preterm labor can tend to be pretty quick. So it's something you want to catch right away so that you can get to the hospital and get the baby out safely. They also told me that they are closing down, which is really disappointing. That was my 4th appointment with them. All the ladies I've met, that was actually the lady there at that appointment was the only one I had not met of the midwives. They were all such lovely ladies. So it was really disappointing to hear that they will not be able to deliver this baby. I've had to transfer to another midwifery, which they recently got back to me, said they could take me, and I have an appointment booked for next week. So I'll get to meet them, go over everything with them. I am grateful that it happened earlier and not like closer to my due date, because I feel like that would have just been a little bit more stressful with trying to find a new midwife and get settled in with them and get to know them shortly before the baby is born. But this way I have a couple months, so I'm grateful for that, but really disappointed that the midwifery that I plan to deliver the baby will no longer be able to deliver them because they are closing down. So that was some disappointing news, but it's something they were not really in control of. So I understand, and I'm grateful that I was able to get into somewhere else. And actually this other place that I am now going to be going to was my second option for if this first place, if they could not take me, I was going to go to this other place anyway. And that way I guess it kind of worked out, and it just, God did not intend for me to go with these midwives. I was supposed to go with these other ones all along, I guess, something like that. So I'm grateful that that has all worked out. Less stress for me. I will still be able to have a midwife, change of plans, but things are still going to be able to go the way I had hoped. Elias and I have been really looking into names lately, trying to figure out what we want to name this baby. We have a girl name already picked out. We've had it picked out for a while. It is what Tobias would have been called if he was a girl. It's just a really pretty name we love. But we are struggling with boy names. I don't know, I feel like boy names can tend to be a little bit harder than girl names, except Tobias's name, we found that pretty quick and we knew we loved it. So this time I feel like it's just because we had that name in mind and now we've used it. Now it's like, oh, now we have to find something else. But we still have a bit of time to find something we really love. Okay, so now onto the symptoms I have been having now. And there are some interesting ones that I haven't really experienced in past pregnancy. So first off, I have been getting leg cramps. That is something I did have with my first pregnancy. I haven't been having them a ton, but definitely they've been starting to crop up a bit more, and in the middle of the night. So I'll be sleeping and I'll wake up and I'll just get this horrible cramp in my leg and just have to like really stretch it out to get it to go away. It's so uncomfortable, not fun, but it's not like super common yet. So I'm kind of just dealing with it. But yeah, symptom I have been having that is really fun is lots of baby kicks. The baby kicks are getting so much stronger. The baby is getting squirmier, still not as squirmy as Tobias, but definitely starting to move around a bit more. I can feel little like legs and hands and stuff going across the belly, or like I can feel them slide or shift around, move their body from one side to the other, and it's just really fun being able to feel all those movements so much more. I have been noticing I'm having more trouble eating large meals because as the baby gets bigger, my stomach has less room to fill up with food. So I'm having to remind myself that this is the serving I would normally have, but I can no longer probably eat that much. So having to cut back a little bit, because sometimes I feel like, oh, I'm so hungry, I need like this full serving, and then I find like I'm struggling to finish it. So just reminding myself that there's a baby in there. I don't have the same room I did before. So cutting back, making my meals a little bit smaller, and just snacking more often if I need to. Okay, the weird symptom I've been having that I did not have in my last pregnancy, at least I'm pretty sure it's a pregnancy symptom because I have never really had this before, kind of. And that's eye twitching. And this started 2 weeks ago, something like that. It just started one day for like most of the day, and it's been kind of on and off ever since. It is kind of annoying, just, I don't know, it just drives me crazy and it's really weird. I've heard of other pregnant women who have had that before, which is why I think it's a pregnancy symptom, but it's just really annoying and really weird and bizarre, and I have no idea where it came from. My nose has also been getting a little bit better, but it is still stuffed. It just feels like it's been so long since I've been able to properly breathe through my nose. Really looking forward to having that back once the baby is born. It's just been so annoying. It hasn't been runny as much, but still it's just driving me crazy a little bit, and I can't wait for it to be gone. Especially I find like wearing a mask almost tends to make it worse sometimes. So that can be really uncomfortable. Okay, and the last one is, if you saw my vlog, you know I mentioned about getting this weird hip nerve pain. I did have a little bit of hip nerve pain before with Tobias, but that was closer to the end of my pregnancy. In like the last month and a half, I would be walking and I would just get this shooting nerve pain starting from my hip and just running down my leg, and it would be so uncomfortable. Not like really painful, just really uncomfortable. It would just make me walk kind of funny, which was embarrassing if I was out in public. But this is like, it's similar to that, but it's not quite the same. I've only had it like once or twice, but it's just like this, yeah, this nerve pain starting in my hip, going down my leg. And then if I don't slow down and take it easy, it'll start to like spread a bit into my belly, which that makes me really uncomfortable. Just trying to like not push myself if I'm feeling something like that. Yeah, maybe I have dishes to do and maybe there's cleanup that has to be done, but I also need to remember I'm pregnant and take care of myself. So sit down, take a little bit of time for whatever's going on to go away. Yeah, I tend to have a lot of stuff in my hips from the 3rd trimester. When the baby's born, my hips are what gets really uncomfortable and weird stuff starts happening because everything's like loosening and opening up. But hopefully I won't experience too much more of that because it is really not fun. Alrighty, and the last thing to do is just to show you my belly and show you kind of how we've progressed from the last update, which was, I think it was about a month ago. So if anything, I'm just a tiny bit ahead of where I was with Tobias, but overall I feel like I'm still pretty much in the same spot. Yeah, and I definitely get more tenderness on this side. I feel like this is where baby kicks the most. And I'm also like shifted this way a little bit more. So you can't really see it on the camera, but this side is just slightly bigger than this one. But yeah, that's how we're looking. 25 weeks. Right, and that is everything for today's update. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, be sure to leave it a thumbs up and be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss future pregnancy videos from me. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day and I will see you next time. Bye.